Guys, we got a doozy today. This story is not unheard of. Many of you guys who may have been dating a single mother or a mother that has kids that didn't have a father in their life, and the kids just be talking back and they got no respect for authority, especially authority for men. And in this case, we see a prime example of a woman that raised the Pookie, and she uses the son or weaponizes the son as her own attack dog or her own pit bull. That if she tells him to do something, he will do it because he loves his mama. He has no voice of reason. He's completely emotional, erratic, and he thinks like his mom. And in this case, unfortunately, there's a brother here who paid the ultimate price just because he decided to break up with a woman and he didn't want to be with her anymore. So a woman scorned, highly emotional, son saw it growing up and decided to carry something out. Let's get into this whole tale here, guys. So this tale in particular takes place in the Philadelphia area. Now, this just happened where this woman who goes by the name of Joyce Brown Rodriguez, who was in a relationship with her boyfriend, Christopher Wilson, since 2018. Now, she's 56 years old. He was 52 years old. So they had a relationship going on. They had no kids together. Obviously, they only been in a relationship for about 5 years, off and on. She has a son who's 34 years old. He has daughters who are of age. And something happened where Buddy was like, yo, I just don't want to deal with you anymore. And he broke up with her. This happened around December 2020, so almost 3 years ago when this went down. So how some women do, and obviously she never learned to control her emotions in her 50s, about to be 60, and she's probably threatened him in the past with these things. He broke up with her, said, I didn't want to be with you. So she's blowing up his phone, acting like they're in their 20s and 30s, teenagers, 20s and 30s, blowing up his phone, texting him, and Buddy's not trying to hear it. He's not answering. He's going on about his business because she probably did some shit that he wasn't with, and he was just tired of it. Because he wouldn't answer the phone the same day, she tells her son that, I need you to take this guy out. She probably told him some lies, which you know women lie, and a lot of you guys know your moms lie, and get him all riled up. And the next day they decide to go up to his job, which is in a completely different town outside of Philly. Right? And they wait for him quietly, discreetly, where they can't be seen. And they watch as he leaves his job, talks with a colleague of his, and then she sicks her attack dog to go out and empty the clip on him. Even after the man has hit the ground, her son stood over him and continued to empty the clip. Then they hop in the ride and head back to Philly. Now, first of all, as a man, you're 34 years old. I can understand you may have a love for your mom. You may have things going on in your life, I'm assuming. Maybe you don't if you're willing to do this. There should be no excuse for you to just say, I'm going to go and take this man out, this defenseless man. We're going to lay in wait and attack him in this manner, just out the blue. Because you're just going to throw away your life. I guess you thought you was going to get away with it. But you're that emotionally charged that as a man, you can't be the voice of reason and talk to your mom and say, hey, maybe it'll blow over, so on and so forth. Now, she told the police once she was caught that she only brought her son to talk to him with a loaded weapon, right? To talk to him. Came to his job to talk to him. But they discovered throughout the investigation that she was searching for a weapon days leading up to that in this investigation. And the daughters, Chris's daughters, Mr. Wilson's daughters, if you will, they had a relationship with this woman. And she acted like she was distraught, hugging them, acting like she didn't know what was going on. All along, she orchestrated this whole situation for her son to delete this guy. Now, the funny part about it is when she got arrested, she immediately told on her son. She snitched on her son, and part of her plea deal, this is a mother now, part of her plea deal was that she had to testify against her son. So her son had the trial before hers. Obviously, they're going to get him first because she's testifying. And her son gets convicted of the deletion. So this past Monday, I believe, she was convicted. And as far as what she's facing is 20 to 40 years, a minimum of 20 years. This woman's 56 already. Her son's 34, so he basically just threw his life away. So she got hit with conspiracy, a third-degree deletion, and a slew of other charges. Now, everybody, this is just foolishness. That if somebody doesn't want to be with you anymore, you just go to a deletion, and as you put your son up to do it, then your son gets put away for doing this. The rest of his life is gone because he can't think like a man. He's thinking like an emotional woman.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. And to those like foreigners from seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Gonna be a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Along one of you brothers are edified. You heard out of this brother's mouth an event that took place, which is a taught, is a high tale, a good story, a good example for all you brothers that's out there. All right. Do not. I know it's crazy because his brother had did a show. I believe a brother from Prophets of Babylon had did a show, if I'm not mistaken. That's yesterday when a woman was on TikTok or something like that, and she got knuckled up by her husband, and she's crying on the thing, and then the next scene is her like nothing happened. And his whole thing is mind your business, and this is another mind your business type situation, especially when you're dealing with the women of your family members and this emotional dribble, like this man was stating. Let's see if I can get the picture of the demon herself. Oh, see, did we put it? Oh, I guess it's just.
Hi, my name.
So you heard from the man what happened, and it's sad in a way. But hey, the scripture says a wicked man is given to a wicked woman. If the Lord was with that man would never met that woman, and even when it went down the way it went down. And what we're seeing today more and more every day, that to this women, to women, modern women today, your life is cheap. All right, I'm gonna repeat. Today's women, your lives. When I mean your lives, I'm talking you so-called black men, and Native American men, and Latino men. Your lives are cheap. There's no emphasis in the importance of your lives. Why waste your life because your mother, your sister, your auntie, your cousin, why waste your life on that? Because at the end of the day, either they're gonna live their life after you get locked up, which most likely they will, and your life will be wasted, and they themselves like nothing happened. All right, St. Matthew's, Sirach 25 and 21, 19. Sorry, it says all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. So all wickedness is nothing to these women. Now, a little argument between a man, and the scripture tells you that, was between a man and his maid. Even though they get old, there's a connection. All right, I believe it's Proverbs 31. Could be Proverbs 31. Yeah. If it's not Proverbs 31, it's Proverbs 30. Let me just type it in. It says a man and his maid. Or his maid. Let me see something. Let's see if I did it right. Afraid of that. Whoopsie. Bear with me. Let's see if I narrowed it down. Because I could be wrong what I'm thinking. Should be. Let me just look at the hard way, which is not really hard. Either man or maiden. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. Ooh, that's a good one. Real quick, it says Proverbs 30 and 20. Such is a way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. Alright? You don't have to you don't have to be a long breakdown for that one. But that's the modern day women today. They'll pretend like they holier than thou, innocent. And in this holier than thou that's innocent, they will have put many of men to death because of their emotional dribble. And that woman is so evil that she forfeited her own son's life. She could have just had an abortion with this guy, but she chose to let this guy live. And then later down his life, Salakia, she decided to forfeit the man's life. Alright? That's some sick, demented-ish. And his mind is he has to protect his mother. That's another thing that comes into mind is a woman, when she bears a child from a man, especially what she considered a high value man, or your Pookies and your Ray Rays and all this other stuff, what it tends to end up happening, since she cannot control that man, she has his seed, and she mold that seed the way she wants him to be. So she controls a little bit of the man that she couldn't have. Alright? I was analyzing that thought process, and it became clear, like, the why women get with certain men, and when those certain men act a certain way towards them, their child turn out to be a certain way, because that's her way of diminishing him. Okay? By taking his son and making him weak so she can control. It's quite diabolical. But we live in a world that's evil, you know? Couldn't find the other thing, so scripture says it was between a man and his maiden or something like that. Who knows it? Alright, I think it says who knows it. Let's see, who? Okay, let's try who knows. What is this? Okay. We're there, we're getting there, we're getting somewhere. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe it wasn't what I was thinking. I do think a lot. See, it's 4. Nope, it's not that either. Now this is gonna bother me. But Matter of fact, let's go to this instead. Proverbs 9 and 16. I'll start at 14. I don't want to even get, 13. A foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing. For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city to call passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet. This is getting into adultery, but same concept. All right. And bread eaten in secret is pleasant. That's what it's called. Down low. That was another term back in the days. Or creep. You know, another term. It says, but he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. So she has gotten many men killed, abortions, all sorts of things. And these men fall for these things because, once again, the scripture says that the portion of a sinner fall upon her. All right? If the Lord's not dealing with you, you're going to fall for those traps. That's why it's good to mind your business. All right? Don't get emotional. Just use your logical mind, like the man was trying to say. But the reason why the average Pokey and Ray raised the way they are, because they was raised by their mothers. All right? Job 14 and 1, it says, man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. So, yeah, everybody was born with a woman. But if you're raised by your mother, your aunties, and so forth, you pick up these feminine vibes, you become emotional, which everybody is technically, you have the right to be emotional, but you can't let your emotions run you. And women have the tendencies to let emotions run without a thought. Now, when you get to a certain age, if you was raised by your mother, you have to fight certain things and try to be your own man. You know? And this is what leads a lot of Israelite men, 2/3 of them, to be put to death. And this is why they don't respect other men. They don't respect other men's property. This is why adultery run rampant. Because that man, if you work for something and the next man takes it from you, there's no real glory in that. Because you work for it. Yeah, the next man may take it, but he never really worked for that. Yeah, he took it and he's just going to flaunt it for a little bit and that's it. We live in this here and now world where adultery just run rampant. And without a single thought, not one person thinks of the next person and they wonder why things happen to them. All right? They wonder why. So this man, this young, well, not young, he's 30, he's in 30, so he should know better. He still got the man, he still killed the guy, and she just turned on him. That's poetry right there, man. That's fucking poetry. This is why the Lord is going to kill 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Crimes like this is sickening. It says, Zechariah 13 and 8, it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. So 2/3 of the nation of Israel do the most idiotic, this evil display, and not consider anything what they do, why they do what they do. And you could clearly see just how the story went down. I believe the man himself had kids, so he just ruined everything. Whole bunch of lives was touched by this one event because of one person. And we wonder why we say the things what we say. And a lot of you women walking out and about, acting like you're innocent, you didn't do nothing wrong. Well, judgment's coming for you. I'm gonna end it off with my favorite. I haven't read it in a while. Jeremiah 9:20. It says, "Yet hear the word of the Lord, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and everyone her neighbor lamentation. For death is come up into our windows, and is into our palaces to cut off the children from without, and the young man from the street." All right, so death is coming. That's the style that they promote, and that's the style they didn't get. Be careful, mind your business. All you brothers out there, you see something, if your loved ones think you have a right to be angry, but think things through before you make those decisions. Because at the end of the day, she's gonna do what she's gonna do, what she considered best for her. If she could get you to make a move, to make a muscle, to lose it, and then shit goes wrong, guess what? She's gonna play the role of the victim, and your life will be forfeited. And as your life is being forfeited, you pondering, she's gonna be out there doing what she does best, and where your life is forfeited. All right. The scripture says, Exodus 23:4, I believe. Sorry, Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in the cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. What I mean to wrest judgment, to wrestle with judgment. You gotta think things through. All right, you gotta think things through. These are examples of how not to conduct yourself, how not to get caught up in the moment. You know, sometimes Satan would do certain things. Consider it, fall back and think, because we supposed to be logical beings. And this is another tall tale of minding your own goddamn business. Through the Spirit, Lord, one of your brothers was edified. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.